watching Delhi Dangal, our continuous coverage on the final outcome of who's going to win the Delhi Assembly polls. Is it going to be Bloom over Broom? Well, all eyes are now set on the outcome of these elections, and counting of voting is currently underway. And the Bharatiya Janata Party is leading with 44 seats in the national capital as per the trends that are currently being seen on Election Commission's website. In fact, the Aam Aadmi Party, which was aiming to win Delhi for the third time in a row, is now trailing. Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal is in a tight contest with BJP's Parvesh Verma. This is a neck-to-neck fight, and Arvind Kejriwal is trailing by a huge margin. However, Aam Aadmi Party's Atishi, Atishi is also trailing against BJP's Ramesh Biduri, and that from the Kalkaji seat. This has also been one of the key seats of the Aam Aadmi Party. So clearly, both leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party are trailing in these key seats, key battleground seats. And the Aam Aadmi Party and BJP are engaged in a high-stakes battle for the Delhi polls, from SOPs and payout schemes to allegations and counter-allegations. The Aam Aadmi Party, BJP and the Congress have left no stone unturned to woo the Delhi electorate. However, the picture looks grim for the Congress party. The Grand Old Party is yet to open its account. The Grand Old Party is staring at a bleak future if trends are anything to go by. Now, if BJP manages to maintain its lead in New Delhi, it will be the final lid also on I.N.D.I alliance. Will it be? Will it not be? We will be discussing that with a guest who will be joining us in a short while. But the Congress party, or the I.N.D.I alliance, is seen infighting between the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress during Delhi elections. And to get us the very latest on what's happening on the ground, what's happening at Aam Aadmi Party's headquarters, how's the mood really like? I'm now joined by Aishwarya Patil. Aishwarya, now the latest that we're getting to learn, that we're learning on the Delhi election is that Arvind Kejriwal, the Aam Aadmi Party supremo, also the former Chief Minister of New Delhi, is trailing on his constituency by over 1,100 votes. Have you been able to speak to some of the Aam Aadmi Party leaders over there, or the Karyakartas at the party's office? What's the mood really like? And are they talking about an introspection perhaps on what all did not really work for them during this election?
Well, the constituencies that you mentioned indeed have been the home ground of popularity for Aam Aadmi Party, and indeed the tables have turned because of Parvesh Verma, as well as Atishi's constituency as well, where Ramesh Biduri is leading the way, and there is a clear margin between the two parties as well. These were the key constituencies for the Aam Aadmi Party to watch out for, because this is where they were most popular, had a strong hold on, and that of course is reflective at the Aam Aadmi Party One Canning Road headquarters. The table has been, the stage has been set, table and chairs have been laid out on the stage as well. The media has been waiting by for a word to hear from at least one of the leaders of Aam Aadmi Party, but we haven't really got a chance to speak to anyone apart from a few young leaders here who have been waiting by since morning, who are still in their high spirit as we speak as well, who are saying that even though the BJP might be leading as far as their seats are concerned, with 46 to 28 kind of a 27 kind of a 27 kind of a seat division we can see as of now. BJP has been leading, and the Aam Aadmi Party has been trailing. So that is reflective. There is no celebration that you saw on the other hand at BJP, where there was jalebi and dhol tashas going on. But here it's all calm, peaceful and silent at this point. No celebrations at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Aishwarya. Thank you very much for bringing us the very latest on what's currently going underway. So, ladies and gentlemen, party Karyakartas are waiting to hear from the top leadership, according to what my colleague Aishwarya is picking up from on the ground. As far as the leads are concerned, well, the Aam Aadmi Party at 25 and BJP at 45. And let's bring in our special guest who's joining us this afternoon, Swaminathan Aiyar, consulting editor, ET Now. Thank you very much, Swami sir, for joining us this afternoon on ET Now. Always a pleasure having you on the channel. Swami sir, it's been a bitterly fought election. It's been extremely acrimonious. There's been plenty of sexism thrown in, religion also thrown in. How do you really analyze BJP's strategy given the kind of leads that we are seeing?
This is part of the BJP comeback after the setback of the general election. I mean, there were people who were thinking that after the general election, the BJP is going to do very badly in the subsequent state elections. The BJP bounced back in Haryana, it bounced back then in Maharashtra, and it has now bounced back in Delhi. So one thing I think is very clear is that the BJP has bounced back from the setback of the general election, and this is bad news for the entire India coalition. I also note that had there been, if you look at the vote share right now, it is just possible that if the Congress and Aam Aadmi had got together in Delhi, maybe they would have had a chance. Separately, they had no chance. And I think this is going to be something that the shadow will fall on Bihar. In Bihar again, I think the BJP will say, we are going to be resurgent, we are going to win. Let us see.
Right, Swami sir. So the bearing you're saying that it will have, this election will really have on Bihar election as well, as far as the optics go, because not only did the BJP won Haryana, it also won Maharashtra as well. But from the kind of messaging that you've seen going out from both the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP in this bitterly fought election, would you call this is a vote against the Aam Aadmi Party and for the BJP? I mean, what did not really work for the Aam Aadmi Party and what has worked for the BJP? Because there's been a whole concoction of messages. There's not been one clear messaging that's gone out. The Aam Aadmi Party has changed its strategy. So what's really worked for the BJP this time around and what hasn't for the Aam Aadmi Party?
Well, look, the previous two elections, the BJP swept all the parliament seats, and then Aam Aadmi swept all the local Delhi seats. So this time, when BJP again swept the parliamentary seats, the Aam Aadmi thought we can still make a show of it. What are the differences? First, Kejriwal came in as this anti-corruption person. And I would say his image has been tarnished by the corruption charges with almost half the cabinet going in. He complained that this is a vendetta, which I think is partly true, but it did not take away from the fact that there seemed to be some questions that he needed to answer and had not answered. So certainly that was one thing. Secondly, getting elected a third time in a row is a difficult job. It is not impossible. Modi did it in Gujarat, for instance, or the BJP did it in Madhya Pradesh. Naveen Shukla did it 5 times in Sodno, and Naveen Patnaik did it 5 times in Orissa. So it's not impossible, but you have to be very exceptional. And I think the performance of the Aap Aadmi in Delhi could not be called very exceptional.
Right, sir. But, as far as the numbers go, if you look at the leads, it's not really a complete wipeout for the Aam Aadmi Party. As of now, it's at 25, despite the fact that this is their third election in a row, the BJP at 45. So this is not really a complete wipeout of the Aam Aadmi Party. What is the future now that you see for Arvind Kejriwal, for the Aam Aadmi Party in national politics?
One of the key messages, obviously, is that Aam Aadmi is going to be in trouble in the Punjab elections, right? That's one of the places which the elections will come up in due course. They are the ruling party right now. Will they manage to get it back when even Mr. Kejriwal is in such trouble here and Mr. Maan is in some trouble in Punjab too? So then the interesting question is who, if not the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab? So the Akali Dal will be hoping to stage a comeback after all this time. Congress will be hoping to stage a comeback. And I don't know whether the BJP will say we can now make a big entry point into Punjab too. Till now, they have only managed to make an entry in coalition with the Akali Dal. Can they make a big impact on their own? So I think there's going to be a very interesting election in Punjab as a result of what we've seen in Delhi.
Absolutely, sir. Punjab and of course Bihar election is also coming up. We'll have to see how much of a bearing Delhi election has on the election in these two states. And let's not also forget the kind of freebies that have been doled out. So on that particular point, will parties now look increasingly at freebies as a way to woo voters? I mean, this Delhi election has completely, it's really been about freebies. So the Aam Aadmi Party is promising 2,100, the Congress increases that amount, and then the BJP announces similar initiatives. How important will freebies for political parties going forward from here versus polarization, for instance?
Freebies matter, but they alone don't matter. So you will note that, for instance, when the direct benefits to farmers began, in Telangana, they gave 8,000 a year. Naveen Patnaik said, I'll give 10,000 a year. Mr. Modi couldn't ignore it. He said, I will give 6,000 a year. But when the general election came again in 2024, he did not increase the freebies. You had Mr. Rahul Gandhi saying, I will give 1 lakh rupees to every poor family. The promise of freebies did not matter. On the other hand, anybody who says freebies don't matter at all will be wrong. I think in Maharashtra, the BJP itself definitely felt that the cash benefit to women had made a significant difference. How significant, we don't know. I think whenever a thing is very close, people say we must give freebies. When you're more confident, you need not give freebies. So the BJP was confident in this last general election, didn't offer anything. And if you look at the budgets afterwards, Nirmala Sitharaman is not really into the business of freebies. She did offer a tax cut to the middle class in this budget, but that could be justified on economic grounds that you wanted to give a boost to consumption. So while there was a political element, you could not call that a freebie. So I would say Mr. Modi in general is the first man to rather contemptuously sneer at freebies as being reveries, whereas everybody else, including Mr. Kejriwal, has said, no, these are great welfare benefits for the needy. And very clearly the BJP has won the argument on this one.
Yes, but sir, BJP has also bitten the bullet as well, because they were completely against reveries, and the kind of promises that we saw with respect to the kind of offerings that they were promising can of course be categorized under welfare schemes or reveries. But let me now ask you about the India alliance. What is the future of the alliance, and in terms of where it's headed? Because not only have those parties faced a rout in Haryana, Maharashtra, and it seems Delhi now is headed towards the same outcome. And also we saw infighting between the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, which has led to the vote transfer of Congress to the Aam Aadmi Party. So where is the India alliance now headed?
India alliance, I would say, will draw the conclusion that it was a mistake of Mr. Kejriwal not to ally with the Congress party. And if the two had got together, if you look at the share of the general vote, those two parties together might be equal to or even slightly larger than the BJP alone. If you go back to the Haryana vote, the same thing was said, that the Aam Aadmi should have allied with the Congress and the India thing. Had it done so, it would have made a difference on the vote share. So I would say that the argument is strengthened to say that if the India alliance is to have that people or everybody needs to come on board on the India alliance if they are to tackle the BJP. If they break the Indian alliance and, like Mr. Kejriwal say, I will go on my own, then I'm afraid they are likely to also suffer the same fate as Mr. Kejriwal.
Absolutely, sir. So a lot of soul searching to do for the India alliance as well, the Aam Aadmi Party. They need to introspect given the kind of leads that we're seeing. On that note, thank you very much, sir, once again for sharing your perspectives and thoughts with us right here on ET Now on our poll special coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, time now for us to slip into a quick